Good evening. I wanted to get on here and just kind of touch base about today and just fill me in. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp. Obviously, there was a lot that happened today in our trial, also with what happened across in California, and so there's some things that we should be aware of what's happening and it's a good day. It was a good day from what I'm hearing from everybody that reported to me. So I really appreciate everybody that. So you guys can hear me. Please let me know. Um, yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it's been a long week. I just want to get on here in between some of the other stuff that I was doing. California, yeah, that's funny. But we can't get too excited. That is just a temporary stay. Okay, so it was a 10 day stay, and they cannot go out and buy magazines, and so it's just a formality at this point. It's not something that, obviously we're hoping that we get the ruling that we need once it goes to the court it needs to go. But, it's something that's going to help us in the short term here. And hopefully, from what I heard today, there was a lot of fireworks, hopefully in a good way for us. There was a lot of maneuvering. I think from what I'm hearing, I hear that, and please, if I'm off base, please let me know. And so, um, I think the state is on playing on the defense. They thought that this was going to go in a direction that they were just going to dictate like they did in the other trial, and they were going to use kind of the same ideas and thoughts and witnesses, and it really hasn't done anything. And it's actually they're going backwards, and so I just a great. What I want to do is just obviously commend Tony for the work that he's done. It's amazing this man has stood toe to toe with these people, and he is leaving marks. And so that's something that I feel good. And so Sean, I can see Sean because you're on YouTube. So why nobody's reporting this is because they know it's unconstitutional. They know that a judge worth his salt is going to give Oregon gun owners the ruling that we need. And so that's what's happening. And so that's fine. That's fine. He earned that. He earned that. I'm not mad at all. So, that's, we have to look at what this man has accomplished. And you're talking, one, maybe two attorneys at max against a team, a machine of bureaucrats, and they're using everything to their advantage, and it's not working out in their favor. And so, one thing I want to kind of think about is optics going forward, is what it looks like if we're going to closing. I don't know how long that's going to take, and oh, for sure, that's where we're going right here. It's the next wave of propaganda. That's exactly what's going to happen. Is this is an optics standpoint, and they are they're desperate. I mean, there's no way, from everything that I've heard today from people that I really, really trust, is there's no way this passed any kind of constitutional muster. And these are people that obviously I haven't watched the last 2 days. So all the information I'm getting is from people that is passing it to me. I trust the information, but it's not by my pen, and it's not through my eyes. And so that's where I am kind of in a disadvantage here, because I don't know, I don't, like, I'm trying to just bring people here to talk about it, and hopefully it all makes sense. But I feel that he's doing some amazing things on our behalf, so we just got to keep up that pressure. And they're smoked. From what I'm hearing from some of the testimony today, there was some disrespect in the court. There was eye rollings, there was shaking their heads, there were spinning around in chairs. basically they were full, they're basically pulling, temper tantrums, and so that's where we have to understand that this is, this is not going the way they expected. They expected to be able to force this thing down our throats, put us all in a spot where we couldn't buy a gun to defend ourselves. Also, face criminal penalties for having a magazine that holds more than 10 rounds outside of our home. So that's, they were on full on assault mode to make sure that this thing goes into effect. And they're going to stop at nothing. That's what we have to realize is, they don't want to admit failure, because that would have to admit that everything they've done for the past 2 to 3 years has been a waste of time and a waste of money. And all it's done is further divide. It's never brought any of Oregon closer together so we can talk about these complex issues. And so, that's something that's really, really a problem. And so, yeah, they're not going to cover. They're not going to admit that their team's losing. And so, that's kind of where we're at. And, I heard some really good things about, they've just had bad witnesses. And Tony has poked holes. He is just, from what I'm hearing, and I'm getting all these different messages. I literally get, when something really important happens, I literally get 10 messages from 10 different people, all with their little perspectives, but they're not far off. So that, I think the information is really, really accurate, which I feel great about. And I'm really proud of those people that are able to, do what they're doing. And so it's been cool to just be here and watch this stuff, and so, yeah, let's talk about this real quick. Yes, I would imagine. That's my view. And so, that being said, and thanks for tuning in on YouTube. I appreciate that. And so, but one thing I don't want to get too excited about with it's basically a short stay. So it's a 10-day stay. If you look at the ruling, I haven't read the whole ruling, but I got the cliff notes so I could kind of give you guys a abbreviated thought on this. It's not, I've got so much other stuff going on, so haven't had time to read it all. But it was, from what I saw, it was a 10-day stay. They enjoined the assault weapons ban, right? So that's another part that's going to be ruled on when it's the constitutionality. So that's another thing that's going to be good for us. And so, that's, just something to be aware of. We don't want to get too excited. I think from what I'm hearing, there's enough evidence to prove that everything we've been saying since day one is correct. And so this California ruling is really just like the icing on the cake. And so, that's where I'm hoping that I'm correct. But I'm like reading the tea leaves, and I'm doing it in a way that I don't have all of the information because I've been busy. I saw Cam Edwards. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Cam Edwards. He did a keynote today, which I was fired up. I'm going to find it. I'm going to put it in here. And it was one of the most amazing keynote speeches I've seen about where we're at when it comes to R2A rights. And I was just so pumped listening to that man talk about, he was talking about history. So he's talking back all the way to the civil rights movement. And he gave a really great history lesson. And then he brought it into today. And maybe I'm looking at it wrong. And maybe I know he has a really good pulse of what's happening around the country. Obviously I spend a lot of time worrying about Moms Demand Action every time because I get all of their alerts. And he brought up the fact that they're not as well entrenched as, like, he equated it to the Jim Crow era, which I thought was really kind of a interesting concept. And I understand where he was going with. But a lot of this stuff is all smoke and mirrors. I mean, they are, obviously they are rabid and they're funded and they're organized, but they lack the hearts and the emotion needed to see this to victory. And so that's what we have in our favor, is the fact that we have people like you and me coming together. We have a united cause, which is stopping this insanity in our state, and we're supporting the people that are doing the work on our behalf. And it's just it's a good thing. And so we just got to make sure that we stay up to date, and so and I guess we're going back into court on Monday. I'm going to be on the road again on Monday, so I'm not going to be home. So I'm going to have to do another update like this. Um, I'm tired. But it was supposed to be 1 o'clock court date, and then he moved it up to 9 o'clock on Monday, from what I heard. So, yeah, thanks for putting that in there, Dan, because I don't see the names because I only have one screen set up. I just got lazy because I just had dinner, got my badge, got my itinerary. I'll share this with you guys. Pretty cool to get something like this, right? So this is addressed to me. My invitation to speak here at this conference. So it tells me from 10:15 to 10:30 on Sunday, I get the opportunity and the honor to speak in front of all these people that I really respect around the country, and talk about what I do to protect kids. And so thought I I just kind of came here to kind of decompress for a minute and do a video and just kind of like savor this moment. So tomorrow we're going to be live, and I'll share the link so you guys can watch along. Tomorrow, let's see who we have going up tomorrow in over here. So Pledge of Allegiance is going to start at 8. So Adam Kraut. So Masab Ayud is going to go. He's going to be on at 8:15. So if you guys want to tune in, it'll be there. Let me see. I was trying to find when Mark Smith was going to be speaking, because he's here. John Correa is going to be speaking again tomorrow. John Correa did a really good job today. That's another one I hope that I can get you guys. And so, I think we got to just take the weekend to kind of process our information and be ready for Monday, because obviously the closing arguments is going to be important, because I'm curious to see what leg they have to stand on. And from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing is their witnesses are not doing what they need them to do. And they talk really poorly of Ashley Hiblinski, and I ran into her just a few minutes ago and had a good conversation about the whole fireworks this week, and because she went on right after me, and so we talked and had a good conversation, and she was kind of shocked at the state, just the way they kind of behaved in that situation. And so I feel that it's just coming from a place of vengeance and desperation, and so that's why I feel that that's kind of where we're at. So let's see. Does the California situation? Yes, that's what I'm thinking, and so it's probably not going to be huge. It's probably not. It's got, like, I look at it, and probably the easiest way to explain it, probably Tony would do a better job, is it's kind of the icing on the cake. And I feel that's just a bonus. I mean, I think they've done enough to screw this thing up. Like when they have their own witness admitting that there's attachable magazines in the 15 and 1600s, and that they're an integral part of the firearm. That is something. That's something that you don't let that stuff into the trial. Especially when we're trying to establish history and how there's historical factors and natures that comes to the ownership of guns in the beginning of the state and founding of the state, and how it relates to Article 1, Section 27. So there's a lot going on, and so we just got to make sure that we continue to cheer on. We're not gonna rest, and we're not gonna let up the pressure until the everything is adjourned. And so Yeah, that's a good thing. That's good. I mean, we all can add our different flavor to the state to make the state a better place, and that's the whole thing is we need to have the ability to offer our experiences to this situation, and by going bippity boppity banning everything, like what they're trying to do, that's going to be counterproductive to the safety of people in the state. And so we can argue now from everything that's been presented that this was not about public safety. This was about controlling law-abiding citizens. This was law-abiding citizen control. This was not criminal control. And so this is a mess. And so Yugal, I didn't know he testified. Dang. That guy, he worked for the ATF. He was like remember the Chipman that tried to be confirmed for the ATF, where he's standing over dead women and children at Waco. This guy worked alongside of him, and this guy is, not a good dude. And so nobody brought up his name until right now, so I didn't know who that was. They were talking about somebody's testimony, but I didn't know it was this guy. And this guy, he testified in the federal case. So I have some really good notes on that. And so, yeah, he was not a good guy. Well, there's nothing, absolutely nothing, Andrew. I don't think it's a dumb thought at all. And I feel you're 100% correct. And that's what they're doing. There's been talks. I haven't seen anything lately because I think they're just kind of laying low to see what's going to happen. And you're going to see, mark my words, if this thing doesn't go their way, you are going to see a PR campaign like you've never seen before, basically calling out the judicial system and saying that this, we had the will of the people, we did this, and that. And you're going to see propaganda like you've never seen come out of that camp. And so I think that's why they're being quiet. They're watching, and they're hoping it's going to go their way, but they know that it is not going to go their way. That's why they have not said anything. They have not brought out anything. Remember during the federal trial, they would do updates to because they wanted the media attention. They wanted people to send letters to the editor. They wanted this thing in the public opinion and to be tried there. And so they were more active. It's probably because they're more active because they were actually in the court for federal trial. So maybe that's why but there's nothing stopping them from trying this again. That's the one thing is they think they're righteous here. And so that's where I'm we got to make sure that we stay up to date on this stuff, or it's going to be a real problem. So I don't think that's a dumb thought. I think that's very forward thinking. Yeah, it's all about civilian disarmament, and we can't do it. We cannot allow it. And so that's kind of where we're at. So, that's why I can't encourage you guys to do this event with me next year. And so this is what it is, so this is, let me get come on, help me out here. Oh no, I'm invisible. So anyways, but it's this, right? So at this conference, this is my 6th year. And so this is where you learn about the system, the activism, other people that are doing other things. This is how you expand your network. So it's just, today there was some really great presentations. I had one girl that her name was Paige Rue or something like that. And she was with Turning Point USA, and she has some really good stuff. So, it's all about changing our thought process, being more effective as we're moving forward. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here this weekend. So let's see what this here. Emotional testimony. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, so that's ugolitis. Um, okay. Well, I'll do some digging on him this weekend then. Actually, I can't, but God, I wish I was at home. There's so much stuff I need to do. So, yeah. Um, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it has a bearing too much. And why I say that is, I think, in the context of what he's arguing, it's not going to be a deal breaker. And the reason I say that is, I think the judge, after Scott Springer's testimony, when he broke all the magazines down into bits and pieces and explained everything with rivets and all that other stuff, I feel that the judge has a pretty good understanding of what the magazine is and how important it is to the firearm. So it's like I'm not going to get down in the dumps that Tony's not using terms that we would like. I'm still going to support, and I feel like just don't pick it apart. Okay, that's really really important. Just believe. I'm not gonna complain at this situation. I'm gonna, like, he's our guy. He's in the game. We're running out of time. We're out of timeouts. He's doing the damn thing, and so we're not gonna mince words. We're not gonna split hairs. We're gonna support and make sure he gets what he needs to get done. And that's the only advice I can give to you is just, like, there's so much other stuff to worry about. Like, that's not something I would worry about, so yep. Yeah, 100%. This is not the end of it. This is setting it up for the appeal, and that's what's going to happen. If they're going to appeal, it's going to go to the next court. The good thing about that is maybe we would have good, a better resolution of what's happening in California with that mag bin, which that would help support what's going to be coming out now. So I like that. I just came up with that. That's just how I roll. I can make up stuff. It's like bibbity bobbity banning. It makes sense. It kind of rolls off the tongue, you know. Yes, this will go to the state Supreme Court. That's where it's going to go next. And depending on that, it's going to go to the Ninth Circuit. And I don't know. I have so many different thoughts on this because of the Bruen decision. And I'm just, I don't know. I'm hoping that we would get the ruling that we need. This thing just dies. It just needs to die. There's no good that's going to come from it. It's just lots of money. T-shirt worthy. I don't know about that. I will. I will, Sean. I'll put you. I'm going to share the links tomorrow because before it starts, it's gonna start at 8 a.m. So if you guys want to join me at 8 a.m., like just before 8, because as soon as it comes on, we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And there's probably 400-ish people here inside the room, at least 400 or 500 people. And so there's going to be all of us standing in and doing the Pledge of Allegiance. So I always look forward to that every year, is doing that. So my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is Lethal Lovebirds LLC. That's for my training company. And then I also have a YouTube channel for the Kids Safe Foundation. That's the Kids Safe Foundation. You can find us there. I'm really behind on content for both. I'm just tired. So that's probably going to end this one early. I just wanted to just kind of touch base with you guys. Yeah, I mean, it could. From what I hear, the other side was very disrespectful with the way they treated the judge and the system as a whole. It's because I said it earlier. They're silver tongued devils, is all they are. I mean, they show up in fancy suits and thinking that they're going to win, and it's just not working out. And so it's fine. So I would what I would love to see is on Monday, only two of them show up instead of 20 or 30 of them. I feel that they haven't done a good enough job to warrant that much manpower, especially when Tony's doing everything he's doing by himself. So that's the you're just throwing money away at this point. So just phone it in. Two of you guys show up. That should be more than enough. You guys should be able to put it together a sentence that you can support your case. Like, you don't need all of these people. There was a guy, I don't even know why he was there. He literally was still in law school. He just sat there and just kind of smirked the whole time. It's like, and he had his cell phone, didn't have a computer. He was just sitting there, probably billing the state, and that was just such a waste, such a waste. So I'm really, something should come out of this when it comes to accountability and how much money was thrown away. So, you know, yeah, I did catch that because somebody sent me that part of it, and I thought that was very, very well done, and that's going to help us going forward. So, yeah, here's a good one right here. They use their own logic against them, and that's I think that's what's really good about what Scott did, Scott Springer, and is the way he was so thorough with everything that he did. Like, that was a really good thing for us, especially with what they're doing. So I'm getting notes. Who's doing this? Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, Candy. Yeah, so there's lots of people that are sending me stuff, and I really appreciate it. It's awesome. So awesome. Good folks coming together. Um, One thing I want to be really, really careful about here is let's not let's not second guess our attorney in the comments. You know, like like we see stuff from the outside, but we're not the ones in the courtroom arguing the case. So, like, I would prefer to give praise as opposed to try to just, I don't want to be annoying, right? So, like, obviously we all, if we were in there, we all would do something a little bit differently. But unfortunately, we're not in there. We have one man in there and he's doing the work. And so what I would love to do is just continue to stay positive and not, I don't know, I can't tell who's leaving these comments, but I just want you guys to focus. Is like, this is stuff like this is the way losers think. And I'm not calling you a loser. I'm when we start picking apart what's happening over little basic things, that's not a mindset for winning. And so that's where I'm trying to get at. And it's really, really important as we have that winning mindset. So it's going to be on the same. I'll get you the link. I'll put the link on here, and I'll do the same thing that I did. I hope that's helping you guys, and we'll just plan on doing it once again on Monday. So hopefully it'll wrap up. Yeah, absolutely. It's 8-1. Like, grace. The greatest thing we could do in this situation is give grace. Like, he's doing a spectacular job. So just please, please, just grace. Show some grace. So, I'm just going to scroll on by. I'm going to go to my happy place. Oh, for sure. That's what we should be doing. We should be documenting. Problem is, how do we get some good press? You know what I mean? So, you know, absolute right here. This is what we should be doing right here. Prop him up. Okay, prop him up. Okay, do not like. We're all good guys. We're very particular about vernacular, yada yada yada. Some of the stuff you just got to let it go. Okay, it's not worth it. So yeah, we should be documenting all of that stuff. So that's 100% right here, please. Oh, okay. Let's talk about that. Andrew Brown, I would love it. So what we can do is we can do our own ballot initiatives, which are I'm sorry, my phone just blows up and I'm trying to keep it together because I'm tired. So we can go on the offensive, which would be a good idea. So ballot initiatives, we can write our own legislation to get submitted. That's a harder sell because of just the way the politics are made up there in Salem. And so, that's what we should be doing right now, Andrew, is identifying people that can run and running candidates in the upcoming election. That's what we should be doing. We should be protecting school boards. We should be going on city councils. We should go on county commissions. We should be on the state government, and that's what we should be doing is shoring those up. And so that's kind of where we're at. So this is gonna be a good one right here. She will not. She does not have the spine. She does not. She is weak, and she would never ever do something like that because you know what? If she did, I don't know. I don't think she has the courage to do that. So that's kind of where I'm at there. So just know that this is all a game, and we're just hoping that we scored enough points, which I feel good enough from the stuff that I've seen that we scored enough points that we're going to get what we need, and that's a victory. So, oh yes, right here. I don't know how that. I don't know if has to be elected to that. The problem is he's giving up a seat, and his seat is in Eugene. So that's a really great comment right there. That's another thing that's really, really important. And so they are. You know why? Because we've allowed it. We didn't show up and vote because we didn't think our vote mattered. We gave them everything that we have that we're living under now is because we didn't get involved because we don't think our voices matter. And so that's one of our biggest mistakes. So we got to do better going into the future. So, all right, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to get back to my thing. I still got to go rub elbows with people, get some pictures, and kind of enjoy networking. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll just plan on, touching base. Yeah, I'll have the live streams in here tomorrow, so you guys can kind of see what I have going on, and it's just listen to people talk. A lot of great people from all over the country that do what we do, and what I'm trying to teach you. I have some really, really good guests that are going to be coming on the group and sharing their experiences from around the country. So it's really cool being able to tell my friends that I know. It's like, hey, I got this cool group that I run. I would love for you to come on here and talk about what you do in your state to my people and my friends. And so I really look forward to, being able to, I can't see who this is. The Nile is not a river in Egypt. I'm just saying there was 180,000 Republicans that stayed home this election cycle. Okay, so that's more than enough that would have countered any mail-in voter fraud. So, like, we cannot hang our hat on these thoughts. There's data that does not support this position, and so we got to do better. So that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, you can send me if you don't have my email address, you can send me a PM. I'll give you my email address. You can send it, and I'd love to see your thoughts. And my guns, yeah. It's exhausting. It really is. So, but we're not going to give up because we got each other, and we're not going to move. We're going to stand here and we're going to fight. We're going to hold this line, and we're going to take the state back. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that this thing goes into effect. That means we're going to support our attorney, Tony, and we're not going to worry about potato or potato. Okay, please. So other than that, I'm out of here. Have a great night, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the morning. 8 o'clock. Don't be late, okay? So I'll have that live stream up. It will be 8. We're all going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. It's going to be awesome, okay? So be there. So thank you. I'll talk to you soon.